today I'm going to talk about why you can never trust a narcissist. Hi, I'm Nanette. Welcome back to Narcissism Exposed. So, trust is a foundational requirement in any relationship, and it's required 100% of the time. That's right. And I'm going to give you an example. It's kind of a silly example, but let's say you buy from Costco one of those giant cases of little water bottles and you bring it home, but on top of the packaging it says to you, well, beware because 3% of your package contains arsenic, and at any time it could be one of those bottles of water. Would you go, oh, you know what? That sounds great. That's not too bad, right? You know, there's only 3% chance of me finding one of those bottles. You'd be like, no way. There's no way I'm going to buy that and chance anything for my life because you value your life. You value your family's life. So the point being this, trust 100% of the time is required. It's not optional. So, what are the top 5 things that are required in order for somebody to be trusted? Well, number 1, reliability. Number 2, transparency. Number 3, confidence, where you feel confident in this person. Number 4, loyalty. Number 5, faithfulness. And these are all things that you can see in manifestation as they happen. So in other words, you don't just take someone's word who says, oh, you know what? You can trust me. Okay, well, let's see it in manifestation. So you want to look for those 5 keys. Okay, well, you know what? Let's take the opposite approach. Let's say you were willing to accept someone's 90% of trust that they're going to offer you. And you go, well, you know, Nanette, that's not so bad. You know, it's better than not being alone. Is it? So here's what you're going to get with 90% trust and 10%. And with a narcissist, we're talking lower numbers, much lower percentages than 90%. But just for an example, you're going to get deception, you're going to get lies, secrets, you're going to get manipulation of your emotions, and you're going to get unreliability. And I'm going to tell you, after a time, that is so going to affect not only the relationship, but it's going to affect you as well. And with any amount of lack of trust in a relationship, here's what you're going to get. You're going to get fear of the unknown. You're going to get anxiety because you're always going to wonder, when is he or she going to be untrustworthy again? Number 3, it's going to be a breakdown of the foundation of your relationship. So you may have times where it's all good and all fun and things seem to be going okay, but underneath in the foundation of that relationship, it's crumbling. It's crumbling down because trust is the foundation. Number 4, you're going to get doubt. You're going to be going, I wonder if he or she is lying. I wonder if they really did that, or maybe they did this. You don't want to walk around doing that. You really don't. You want someone you can trust. Then you're going to have, there's going to be accusations. You're going to be wondering, hey, where did you go last night? You know, I tried texting you and you weren't around. You know, what happened? You were supposed to meet me at 2 o'clock on Thursday. We were supposed to go get a coffee and talk about something important. You see where I'm going with that. And then you're going to get suspicions as to betrayal, especially if you're an intimate partner. If this is a boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, you see what I'm saying? That is like the ultimate betrayal in a marriage, is to wonder if your partner is being faithful, That again, you don't need that type of stress. And then the last thing, there's going to be vulnerability because you're going to be so fragile having to deal with that 10% or whatever percent of mistrust because you can't trust the narcissist. You're going to be so vulnerable, so fragile, and you're just not going to be able to be yourself, be your best, and walk in peace. It's hard to walk in peace when you're always looking over your back, wondering, hey, is he or she doing this or that? So, when you're in a situation with somebody that there isn't that 100% trust, especially with a narcissist, there's 3 things that I want you to do. So, the first one is going to be test and verify. So, how do you do that? You watch their actions, not just listen to their words. And I say this many, many times. Many narcissists, their actions belie their words, but yet many times victims want to cleave and hang on to their every word and believe the words and maybe sometimes deny the actions. And I want you to understand that there's something called being codependently naive. You can't allow yourself to be so desperate or so thirsty for that relationship that you're going to put blinders on and not see what's going on right in front of you. And then based on your data, you make a judgment call as to whether or not you want to be with this person or have this person in your life. The second thing I want you to do is confront and hold accountable. So when you confront the narcissist, is he or she being self-aware, owning what they did? Are they discussing, your feelings and how they made you feel about a situation? Or are they in a rage? Are they screaming, blame shifting, ghosting, gaslighting, you name it? So if they're doing the latter, then you know what the answer to that is. The third thing I want you to do is make an executive decision as to whether you're going to choose to give this person another opportunity to prove to you that they are trustworthy. And the key word here is an opportunity to witness future change, because too many times we want to give them multiple opportunities, many times dozens and dozens. I want to give you the definition of the word an. In English grammar, or the word an, are determiners, meaning they specify the identity or quantity of something. And for both words, that quantity is 1. You see where I'm going with that, right? I want us to get real, and I want us to be very, very clear about how many opportunities we're going to give the narcissist to prove him or herself. Look, for the narcissist, he or she wants you to give them your complete trust for the sole purpose of dominating you and of maintaining complete obedience, blind obedience to them. Because why? They want to extract favors from you. They want to steal your precious time, your assets, your money, steal your job, anything that they can, your family, your friends, by insisting that you trust them completely, yet they are only offering you an appearance of trust. You understand, this is a cat and mouse game you don't need to be playing. And with a narcissist, all you get in return is future faking, fake promises, a false narrative filled with lies and deceit. You don't need that. Your precious life, your path of truth and righteousness, you need to protect that. You really do. And with a narcissist, there's no small or whatever amount of mistrust for you that's going to give you the open door to be in any kind of relationship with that type of darkness. So here's what I recommend when it comes to trusting anyone. Number one, set very strong boundaries for yourself. Know what your limitations are. Understand what your needs and wants are. Understand what you're going to allow and not allow, and make sure you make that known. And if anyone tries to chisel away at your boundaries, that's going to be a no-go. And number two, never dive into trusting someone. I don't care how big of a smile he or she has or how gregarious they are. You need to watch their actions and not just believe their words. Because as I said earlier, many times a narcissist's actions will belie their words. And then when you catch them in it, they'll come up with every excuse under the sun. And number three, take your time. Time and patience will reveal to you what you need to know as to whether or not you can trust someone. And number four, collect the red flags. When you see those red flags coming at you, collect them. Collect them. And you don't need to collect 24 in order to make a decision. You collect 3, 4, that's enough. And then you use that data to put the pieces of the puzzle together that's going to reveal and tell you a lot about that person and whether or not you should trust them. And number 5, trust your gut. If it doesn't feel right, then stop. And number 6, never give excuses to someone who's giving you dishonesty vibes. And number 7, and I think this is the most important one, is always go to God. Check in with God, because God wants the best for you and He wants to help you. There's a great verse in Matthew chapter 10, verse 16, and it says, "Behold, I send you out as sheep in the midst of wolves. Therefore be wise as serpents and harmless as doves." I think many times we remember the harmless as doves, but we forget to be wise as serpents. There's another great verse in Psalm 26, verse 5, and it says, and this is God speaking, and He says, "I hate the assembly of evildoers, and I will not sit with the wicked." So did you know it's okay for you to hate evil as well? That's right. So in Psalm chapter 97, verse 10, it says, "You who love the Lord hate evil. He preserves the souls of His saints. He delivers them out of the hand of the wicked." So you see, if God hates evil and He's not going to sit with the wicked, why would you allow yourself to sit with the wicked? Especially if you see those signs of non-trust, distrust, where they're not being trustworthy. You need to make an executive decision for your life and say, you know what? Even though I really would love for this to work, I see this person is being dishonest and their intentions are not for me. Do you understand? They're not for you. So that is your cue to protect yourself and walk away. And you know, in Ephesians chapter 5, verses 11 and 12, it says, "And have no fellowship." That word no, I want you to think of a big fat zero. Have zero fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather expose them. For it is a shame even to speak of those things done of them in secret. And if you think the dirty, disgusting, detestable things that you see the narcissist do right in front of your eyes is bad, you don't want to know what he or she is doing in the back end, behind your back. So I want you to be very strategic and careful with your heart, your life, and especially when it comes to the trust factor in starting any relationship. So leave your comments down below. If you found this helpful, do hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, do hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified the next time I put out a video. And until next time, walk in peace and be blessed in your hearts.